Howdy folks, and welcome to Cedar Creek Homestead. This is Howie here, and hope you're having a wonderful day. And we got a thunderstorm going on outside. Been a rainy old nasty day, and I thought I would shoot a little video in here inside the shop and talk to you just a little bit about seeds and where I bought my seeds at, where it will give you an idea. I understand that there's kind of right now maybe a shortage of seeds, or just because of the virus, some are just having a little trouble. But anyway, I'm going to take you through here and show you my plants here and explain them to you a little bit about them. We have a chance of a freeze here, a big chance, not just a little, but a big chance of freeze. So I have brought these inside the shop. I believe it'll be warm enough in here to keep them. But I bought me 2 flats of tomatoes. These are Rutgers. What I call a flat is you basically get these 6-packs, and there's 6 6-packs in there, 36 plants. I usually get 3 of these. I usually get a Rutger and like a Big Boy, Better Boy, something like that, and a flat of Early Girls. And I haven't been able to get a flat of Early Girls. And you might wonder, well, what's the difference? Well, they all taste about the same. These Better Boys here produce just a medium-sized tomato. That's the same here. But if you get like a Big Boy or something like that, they'll produce a real large plant. And I showed you the other day, I took 6 of these Better Boys, and I planted them in these little coffee cans. And what I do is cut the leaves and stems off as much as I can and bury them as deep down. So the roots of these was way down here and just barely a little bit sticking out of the top. You can see how quick these things are growing. And what I've done is cut the bottom of this can off, and I've just stuck the plastic lid. May not be enough light in here. I would raise the doors, but with that rain and everything and the wind's blowing, you sure enough wouldn't be able to hear. But I hope you can hear me over all of this. But anyway, it'll start making roots all the way down. You've seen tomato planting videos, but that's what you want. You want to get as much root as you can. And when I plant these in the garden, in the big garden, I'm going to take this plastic part off here. A guy, as I already showed doing this on a video, but a man here, an elderly fella, tells me that's his secret to success with tomatoes. He always has really beautiful tomatoes, and he waters them in this can part here, so he knows the water's going to the roots. Once he plants them in the garden, he leaves this can up out of the ground just a little bit, and he says the cutworms won't bother him. He also says that he's not had any trouble with gophers planting them in cans, but he's done it a number of years, and I do a little work for him. And I was asking him last year, I said, what's your secret to success? Because when everybody else has tomato problems, then his is doing good. So anyway, I planted those, and I showed a video. I'm already repeating myself on all that, but if you're interested, keep watching, and I'll show you if those do good this year. It'll be something that I'll do a whole lot more. I would have done more. I got plenty of coffee cans. We love coffee, and we keep all of our cans. I don't throw any of them away. I use them for all kinds of stuff, but we've got an abundant supply of these cans. But I ran out of potting soil, and because of this virus, I had to go somewhere to get it. I just haven't done it yet. I also started some little squash. I thought I would do the same way, and that one's looking a little peaked. These will just come up for one reason why that looks so bad. This, and none of the seeds. 2 of these is yellow squash, and 2 of them are zucchini squash. So right now you can't tell the difference, but we'll be able to tell the difference when they make fruit. Hopefully this one will come up. But I thought I'd get my squash early. I haven't planted anything out in the big garden this year, and the reason was I was worried about the temperatures. And usually about the 15th of April here, we're pretty safe. My wife said that like the 11th or something like that was the last official day of frost for us, but now we're under a freeze warning. They're saying it could get down to 30 degrees in the next couple of mornings. then it's supposed to get back up there. The weatherman says he thinks this will be our last cold snap of the season. There even 30% chance one morning here of snow, believe it or not. If you don't like the weather, if you're here in Oklahoma and you don't like the weather, wait a little bit and it will change for you. But anyway, I wanted to show just a second here a little bit about buying seeds. And some of you have mentioned that you're having trouble getting seeds. And what I do every year is I take, and I've got an ammo box full of seeds. I buy these plastic, let me just show you one here. The one I've got's in the freezer, but I buy these little boxes. They're ammo crates, and I store seed in these, and I'll mark the year on there. And I've got a couple of these. Any leftover seeds and stuff I keep, but I put them in the freezer. Now I also can give them away if somebody needs seeds around here, some friend or something, you know, that's no problem, I can give them. But every fall I buy my seeds and I put them in one of these so that I'm ready for spring. And then in the spring I may even buy more seeds if I want to. Now my wife, she orders from Baker Creek and M.I. Gardner. She likes to order from those places, and she likes kind of some of the more exotic stuff, like, you know, the weird looking tomatoes, squashes, things like that. She likes to play around with them. Exotic peppers is what I call them, some different colored peppers. But I pretty much plant out in the big garden regular stuff. But I stopped down at the our feed store. I've already planted some of these radishes. These are cherry bell radishes. I'm not a big fan of radishes, but Josie is. But anyhow, she loves to eat them, and I will eat them a little bit, but we like wilted salads, and so we'll put radishes, onions, lettuce, and put bacon grease. She could tell you the mixture that she uses, but it contains some bacon grease. Besides regular salads, we like wilted salad every once in a while, and on that I do like a few radishes. And then we got this black, no, this ain't this is the carrots, Danvers carrots. And I like to plant those here. They seem to do really good. I don't get the half long, I get the regular sized one. This is black seeded lettuce, and I already planted some of it, and it's coming up in raised beds. I haven't planted any out in the big garden. I got top crop bush green beans. I like these, do really well for bush, and I also like the Blue Lake. I got a package of beets. Now this here beets is 99 cents, and this thing is, I mean, packed full. This here's $1.50. You get plenty of seeds. But what they do down at our feed store is these seeds, they package themselves, and they have a scooper, and they put a scooper of stuff in there, print out a label and put on it, staple it, and they buy these seeds in big bags, like the beets and the green beans. Now these things here, they get someplace, this TriStar place out of Arkansas, and they package those seeds up like that and already buy them pre-packaged. But these here, 99 cents. These here are 99 cents. Look at all the seeds you get right there for 99 cents a bunch. The reason I'm bringing this out is if you're having trouble, got a little bag of purple top turnips. You can actually plant turnips in the spring if you haven't done that. I like the greens, and I also like the bulbs, both ways. The okra, I like the Clemson spineless. It doesn't itch me so bad, is why I like it. There's some squash. I used a little bit of that gray zucchini, what I've got planted in a couple of these buckets here. Cucumbers, Boston pickler. I even got some purple hull peas. Now I've got that container over there in the freezer. I'd have to dig it out because it's back in the back full of seeds that I bought last fall. And I probably spent 30 bucks last fall on seeds. And I do that every fall just in case we end up in a situation like we have this year. And sure enough, we're in one of those situations I thought might not ever happen, but I was prepared. But these are actually fresh that I just bought. But they don't have as many seeds as usual. They are actually running low at the feed store. So that's some more purple hulls, purple top turnips, some more okra. I usually need a couple of bags. It takes me 2 bags to plant a big long row of okra, and I'll show on one of my videos later how I plant my okra. There's probably a million videos out there, but I'll show you how I do all this stuff in the garden. I'm gonna do more gardening videos this year, but we raise probably 80% of our food here, and so having our seeds is very important. So not only do I have these, but I have some that I froze that are in the freezer. And actually, I've had some times maybe couldn't get something or forgot to get something and go back, and I've got a couple more containers the last 2 or 3 years. What I do now, I'll probably the container that's 3-year-old, I'll start switching it out and give the seeds away if somebody wants them, or do something with them. But I start rotating them out, but I have a reserve of seeds put back just in case. I have a video also showing how I did that. It's an older video, but of putting back seeds in my container. But just because I've always had this concern, if something went wrong in the springtime, what would you do for seeds? A lot of the places around here are sold out, but the feed stores here in most states, even it's a federal thing actually, FEMA has a directive that the farm agricultural stuff can stay open. Now Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart and them, and a lot of states are roping off the vegetable areas, and they're not letting you go in and get gardening supplies and things because they're trying to cut people down from shopping. But because of the directive here regarding agriculture, that's a necessity. We still have our farm stores open, and our farm stores have seeds. There's one across the river here that when you go in there, they have different size scoopers, and it's a different price, whatever scooper you use, and you scoop out of a big container to get your seeds, and then you put them in a little envelope like this, and you mark on the back what you've got, or right on there, and then they charge you that way. And various prices, but they'll have like a 50-pound drum of purple whole pea seeds and a 50-pound jug of different things. I haven't bought any there this year because I usually go to this particular store to buy my bulk, what I call bulk seeds. Now specialty items we order, but some have said that M.I. Gardner and Baker Creek, those are the two my wife really likes. She says they're saying that they're having some trouble because there's such a demand this year. A lot of people's going to raise their own vegetables, which is a good idea. But just as a heads up, there is a way. If you are in an area that you have feed stores around, check out your feed store. You might think that only Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart sells garden seeds, but check out your local feed and seed places, farmers co-ops. Where these come from is our local farmers co-op. But they definitely were sold down when I was in there, and the young man that works behind the counter, he told me that they have had a bunch of people in buying seeds. And so it looks like this year everyone's going to go into gardening, and not everyone, but a bunch of people's going to go into gardening. But that just gives you a little helpful hint there. If you're looking for seeds, check out your feed stores if you've got one around. If you live in the city, maybe you have a feed store out on the outskirts of the major city somewhere that you could go to. We also have Atwoods and Tractor Supply here. Just my opinion of Atwoods and Tractor Supply and Orsolans here. They're good farm stores, but they're not good places to get seeds. The seeds they have, they'll charge you sometimes $3 or $4 for a little old bag of seeds that you'll only get just a few. I mean, a very few. This thing here, if we could open it up, the seeds are clear to there. There is a bunch of beet seeds in there. One bag of this will plant a whole row of beets, and Josie loves to can beets, and maybe she'll do a recipe this year of her beets. Anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. If you're not into gardening, try it. If you can try a few things in your flower bed, or get you some containers. Check out Gardening with Leon, and he's down here in South Oklahoma, but he'll show you how to raise some self-wicking beds, tubs. And if you just had a couple and you planted some tomatoes or something, just anything to kind of get you a little bit of a step up. And if you've never gardened before, start out small and work your way up. You'll see this year we plant a big, huge garden every year, and I wouldn't recommend for someone to just jump in first year and do it. But if you want to, hey, have at it. What's it going to hurt? I've got not that much. Right here are all these tomatoes, seeds. You know, I got less than $100 here of stuff on this table. And if it produces even half of what it should and what I'm planning on doing, this will produce $2,000 or $3,000 worth of food. So I ain't sit down and actually put a pen and paper to it, but you figure tomatoes at a couple dollars a pound, whatever squash is, beets, okra, cucumbers, all the different stuff. You add all that up, it gets expensive if you was to buy it all. And since we raise about 80% or more of our food here, meat and vegetables, and we're going to kind of, I think, go up on that this year. We're going to go on up and try to do at least 95% of what we have here on our homestead and start being a little more self-sufficient than we are already. Anyhow, I hope this is helpful. I sure appreciate you watching today. May God richly bless you. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our channel. And I want to say, by the way, thank you to the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying what you've been seeing. And if you like, give us a thumbs up. And if you've got somewhere in your area that you've been able to find seeds or got some information about seeds, share that in the link down below on this video. Make a comment and let others know where they can get seeds. It's kind of a scary thing if you can't find seeds. But anyway, hey, I appreciate you watching. God bless you. We're gone.